Okay, I think we're live on Essential RC YouTube channel. Let's just check on my laptop over here, live. Looks like it. I want to get to a page so I can see if there's any questions before I start. Wouldn't that be handy? Here we go. How you doing, everybody? It's Monday after a great weekend. At least we had some good weather on the Sunday. Right, I think we're good. God, I haven't done this on YouTube for quite some time. But what are we doing? We're doing a live unboxing of the new Avios Super Tucano from hobbyking.com. So this was announced by Stuart Warren at Joe Knoll, that big event in the US, as a new model that was coming out. It's available for pre-order at the moment from hobbyking.com. The link to that pre-order, if you want to help me out, is in the description for this live stream that you're watching now. I would say, and I'm not, I'm not, not for any other reason than that sometimes with these models there's a limited production run. So if you want to get your hands on one, don't think, oh, I'll wait until it comes into stock. It might be a good idea if you do actually pre-order one, because then you'll make sure you're reserving one as early as possible. The other benefit in pre-ordering one now is there is a deal that they're doing with the LiPo, a flight battery as well, that you get included for free as part of the pre-order if you buy it now. When it comes into stock, don't be surprised if that deal has disappeared. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, this is the new Avios Super Tucano. So let me go to the spec here and just read through the spec very quickly for you. Product specifications, product description, that's what I want. And right, so 1.6 meter wingspan. So this is not a small model. I did wonder, how do they fit it in this relatively small box? But they have done it. 1.6 meter wingspan, 63 inches. Length is 1,617 millimeters. They're very specific. 63.67 inches. The scale is, it's 1/7 scale. Brushless motor is a 50-52 52.5 kV brushless motor, has an Aerostar RVS G2 100 amp brushless RVS, meaning that you can reverse it. Particularly useful if you're landing on a hard runway and you land at speed. You can flick a switch and you're going to be able to kick in the props in reverse and for it to slow down more quickly. Kind of nice. I think they do that on the full size by changing the pitch. But 13x8 scale 5-blade prop. It has 16 13-gram servos, one 25-gram servo. You need 6 minimum, but preferably 7 channels. You need aileron, elevator, rudder, combined with steering, throttle, flaps, retracts, and an optional reversing channel. The battery recommended is a 6S, 22.2 volts, 4,000 to 6,300, 40 to 60 C. That's recommended. It comes already with the Philippines Air Force scheme on it. You do not have to apply the scheme at all. No stickers, no decals at all to apply. And the flying weight is 4.1 kg. That's 9 pounds. Now, to tell a lie, not to tell a lie rather, I have already unboxed this because I just did it on my FB page, Essential RC Daily, if you want to follow me on that as well. But let's, I'll show you the components if you don't follow me on Facebook. then, and you follow me on YouTube, that's no problem. But these are the individual components. Let me just go back to here. Crazy Plane Spotter 2006 says hello. Our man Jose says hello from the Philippines. Well, man, you are watching the unboxing of a model that has the Philippines Air Force scheme. So if anybody can relate to this, then you can, Ahmad. Thanks for watching. So this is the vertical stabilizer and rudder. And you will be amazed, there is not a lot to do to put this together. The scheme is already applied, as I said. So you got the national flag for the Philippines up here and the semi-camouflage scheme on here as well. And the important thing to point out is on the rudder, there are two pin hinges on the rudder to keep it very well attached, not just relying on the foam hinge, which is good. You've got the horn in here already hooked up via the push rod to the servo. What else to say? The other thing I will point out that is really important, and you might not realize, is you can see the clevis is of the snap shut type, and they do snap shut, but it's very important to have that keeper on there. If you build models yourself, you should be using a little bit of fuel tubing to make sure that it stays shut. I've had the pin fail on these in the past if I didn't use that, so it's very important. Ciao da Italia from Pier Massimo. How you doing? Thanks for watching. So that's that. Then we've got the horizontal stabilizer and elevator. Scheme already applied. Servo already in place and already hooked up. So all we've got to do is bolt it in place and hook it up to the servo extension lead. Nice. Let's have a look at a wing next. Here's the wing, or one half of the wing. Scheme already applied, top and bottom, although it's rather plain underneath. But you have aileron, flap, and the landing gear here. So oleo with a spring inside it to absorb the rough landings you might have. Not everybody has the luxury of flying off a hard surface. I certainly don't. I fly off grass mainly, and a foam wheel as well, which will also help. Servos already hooked up to the aileron and the flap, as the rudder and the elevator. On the aileron, you've got 2 pin hinges and you've got 3 on the flap, because there is a lot of force exerted on the flaps. You know, when you're coming into land or you're taking off, you don't want that pulling out. So they really thought that through. All of those electronics are all hooked up together into a board here with a single connection into the fuselage. So you don't, so it's just one link into a board on the other, into a plug on the other side in the fuselage. So it makes it really quick to assemble. Pretty straightforward. And obviously there's another wing half exactly like that for the left. What else? Over here, this is the rear section of the fuselage. So not a lot to say about this other than the scheme is already applied, and we're going to bolt the elevator and rudder, the horizontal and the vertical stabilizer, to this. And the leads, you can see the leads are going to connect in to this, and the servo extensions go out of the front into the forward section of the fuselage. Pretty straightforward. But then this is the interesting bit. Now let me put the canopy back in place. If I'd been prepared, I would have had this already in place. But you see how it just slots in at the front, and clever scale detail this. This is a scale detail, but also doubles as a catch to snap it in place. Now, the cockpit is really nicely detailed, actually. You don't just get the pilot and the navigator in here, but you've also got their displays in here. You've got the HUD, the head-up display at the front, and you've also got some of the instrumentation as well. But a lot of detail inside the cockpit. It's more noticeable on big models, don't you find, if you don't have that? And certainly we wouldn't want the office to be empty. It's good to have two pilots in there, just like the full size. So looking at the other detail, I notice, you know, I have had some other models, notably, say for example, like the Freewing A10, which I've had 2 or 3 of. Really quick model to put together, other than putting the decals and the stickers on, and their water slide on that model takes a long time. Particularly the shark's mouth on that model takes a good half hour to put on all by itself, as well as the other 100 other stickers you have to put on it. But this is already pre-applied in the factory. Fantastic. No work to do. It's all done for you. Of course, the Super Tucano full size is a turboprop, so we've got the exhausts as well that show that it is a turboprop. But of course, this is a brushless electric motor. But if you watch the video that Stuart Warne uploaded to the Hobby King YouTube channel, you will see that it sounds like a turboprop. When he does those fast banking, fast low passes, it sounds amazing, because just like the full size, most of the noise comes from the prop noise, not from the engine. So let's, of course, the rear section bolts in to the rear front, this front section, and the leads go in through here to inside. If you look underneath, you'll see the nose landing gear, and that's steerable as well in conjunction with the rudder, single channel into your receiver. Well, let's take this canopy off. We'll take that off. Pier Massimo Versano asks, it's up for pre-order? Yes, it is. It's up for pre-order, and as I said at the beginning of the live stream, if you pre-order, you can get it with a free battery, which would be quite a saving. So, and the other reason I would say pre-order if you are interested in this model, because these things can sell out if they're popular. They make a batch, you know, a first run batch of these types of models, and they can sell out. So I'm not trying to oversell it. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if when the stock does come in at the end of July, whether it does get snapped up pretty quickly. Some of Avios's models in the past do get snapped up quickly, and then you have to wait a little while before the next batch gets made. You know, they don't know how successful the model's going to be. So it will be limited production run in some way. To show you inside as well. So you've all your, if you put in your receiver, then you've got your connections here to go into your receiver. I'll show you what I'm using in a minute. You've got your 100 amp speed controller with an XT90. There's a very thick ply tray for your battery, 4,000 to 6,300, didn't they say? That's the recommended. And you got 2 battery straps as well. Rich, my old mate, Rich Chart. Well, not old mate, but haven't seen you for a while, mate. It's good to hear from you. Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? Your type of plane. Well, maybe you should come down to the Flying Club and see this in action. But yeah, not a lot to do to put this together. Good scale detail, and they've hooked up all of the servos to the control surfaces, so it will just slot together. I'm going to build it later on. Shouldn't say build. Why am I saying build? This isn't building, this is just simple assembly. Other people do build models from scratch, but this is just assembly. And you'll see down the front that you've got your nose wheel steering servo in there as well. I think that's everything I need to say about that. Forward section, other than what else to show you. The spinner at the hub at the back on which you bolt the 5 blades that it was talking about. So you've got your 5 blades there and they bolt onto the hub. I was wondering where they were, but this shows how quick this will be to put together. But you see all the bolts in there. It's just maybe 10 bolts to put this together. Then you've got an aluminium joiner, I suspect, for the wing, and a few other plastic bits and pieces, and even a strip, I suspect, which is to cover the join between the forward and rear section of the fuselage. I think I've shown you everything. But while I'm about it, I will mention the setup sheet that comes in the box. So it gives you all you need to know about your control throws and your center of gravity. I am being asked by Connor Hines, are they straight blades or curved? So let's hope that answers your question. Are you inferring that on the full size they are curved? There is a twist, I would say. So, but I would advise, if you're interested in this model, go and watch the video that Stuart Warren uploaded to hobbyking.com YouTube channel. Actually, it was on Facebook as well, because this sounds so good. You know, it's not just scale prop, but it does really sound good on those low fast passes that he was doing on that video. So I'm quite excited about flying this on Wednesday. Yes, so I was about to say, and I do this on every video because I'm trying to spread the word on this. It's important because people spend a lot of money on radio gear. And since I changed from Spectrum, you know, I had a DX18 Gen 1 and that wore out. I used it for 10 years and I was looking for another radio, and even their radio and everything else on the market was about £1,000, £1,000. It's like, really, do I have to spend that much on an equivalent radio? And this is what I got. It just come onto the market. This is a Radio Master TX16S Mark 1, which has been superseded by the Mark 2 actually, but it runs Edge TX now operating system, which is not a complex radio system to learn. It's pretty easy, and there are lots and lots of YouTube videos for people who are new to Edge TX, because I know that the most complex of part of a radio is learning how to set it up for different models, you know, doing flaps and mixes and all this type of stuff, throttle curves, you name it. But it's all really easy to do. And if you don't know how to do it, then there'll be a YouTube video for it. Or you could drop me a question, because I've got pretty good at Edge TX. And if I don't know, I just ask Jason, because he knows. Now, this comes in many different styles. I like this one because I like red. Can you tell? Red is my favorite color. But I've also got a Mark II. This is a 4-in-1. So it's a multi-protocol radio. If you get the 4-in-1, that means it supports like 50 different protocols, including DSM2 and DSMX from Spectrum, but also more of the latest protocols, including ELRS, which a lot of FPV pilots use, but I'm using as my standard now. So that is a module in the back of this 4-in-1 version. So there's the board in here is what they call 4-in-1. It's 4 different chips, or is it 3-in-1? Can't remember. But it supports all those different 50 odd protocols. And if you want to do ELRS, then you just buy the separate module for a few quid and you plug that in the back. This transparent version is native ELRS. The board inside this is ELRS. If you wanted to go 4-in-1 as well, you'd get a module for that and plug that in the back. But what I've got in the back of this is a Crossfire module that enables me to use the Crossfire protocol from TBS, Team Black Sheep, for long range FPV. Some may ask why I have 3 Radio Master TX16S. I don't, I've got 5. And they are quite gracious, and they have sent me 2, and I've bought at least 2. I can't remember, I might have bought 3. But it's always good to have a backup radio, right? And not just rely on one. There's nothing worse than getting down to the flying field and finding you can't fly because you've broken a switch. So I was saying, so that's the Radio Master TX16S, but in terms of receiver, good, high quality receiver now, ELRS protocol from Radio Master, ER8, 8-channel receiver. If you plug the individual servos into it, it's 8 channels. But if you plug this into a flight controller or a power box using the provided S-Bus cable, and the S-Bus cable is included, then I think you can get like 14, 15 channels, programmable channels. So it makes it £35 over here in the UK from hobbyrc.co.uk, or even I think Hobby King might sell these. Then it's a steal, really. And the last thing to mention is the battery. So Hobby King, newest generation of heavy duty batteries, Turnigy 5200 6S with an XT90. That, I think, is everything I wanted to cover on this live feed, stream. So thank you very much for watching. The link for the Super Tucano on pre-order is in the description for this video. Final question. Could anyone please recommend me what kind of transmitter? Should I go with 60 channels minimum so it would last long from Europe? I've just told you, D-Pro. I've just told you. Radio Master TX16S. This Super Tucano is going to be in stock end of July. But if you want to guarantee that you're going to get it in that first batch that does come in stock, I recommend that you click on the pre-order link that I've dropped in the video description. That's my dog telling me that I need to wrap up this live stream. So thanks very much for watching. If there are any more questions, I will answer those in a moment after closing down the live stream. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy your week. D-Pro TX16S Mark II from Hobby King or Radio Master themselves. Buy it. About $200, I suspect. It's about a fifth of the cost of some other high-end transmitters out there. I even saw another premium radio does the same this for $2.5 grand. Crazy how much you can pay for transmitters, and this will do everything that you need. I'm very passionate about sharing that message. Thanks, everybody. Take care. See you soon. Adios. Goodbye.